Hello everyone. So today we are going to react to Mark Rober.
Yes.
Mark Rober's newest video. Why do sharks attack GoPros? Alright, should we start it?
Yeah, and it's #1 on trending. Wow.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, play it.
Should I full screen it?
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Is it on HD? Yeah.
Okay,
Alright, play.
This is me in a flimsy cage in the middle of the ocean at night, surrounded by hungry sharks. We were there experimenting with some mesmerizing bioluminescence we captured in this jar, which was really cool. But unfortunately for us,
wait, are those rocks?
So once again, I found myself in a precarious situation, risking my life for science. And for that, I blame my friends at Discovery, because for Shark Week this year, they sent me to the frickin' Bermuda Triangle. Now in the past, to celebrate Shark Week, I've ran experiments to answer important questions such as, can sharks really smell a drop of blood in the water from a mile away? Or given the choice, do they have a preference for human blood over fish blood? And so this year, I'm headed back to the contraptions I built to potentially debunk a few more shark myths. And our experiments are gonna get us dangerously close to sharks in the shallows, and then so deep, it's like
Do you hear the music? It's Stranger Things.
Take a look into whether the Bermuda Triangle itself is actually cursed. But of course, to do that, I'll need an expert in paranormal, aka Noah frickin' Schnapp from Stranger Things.
I told you!
And so before I head into
Stranger Things!
the second travel montage to meet Noah for the first time, in an effort to make him feel more comfortable, I'm gonna harness my
give the credit to Mark Rober.
I know.
You can just give the credit. Where are they going again? Hawaii or something, or the
to
ocean?
kick things off, I reunited with my marine biologist.
Oh, they are at Hawaii.
G'day, mate. How you doing?
Oh wow, I was at Hawaii.
We learned a lot last year, I feel like. What attracts sharks?
Is this Hawaii or no?
Yeah, I was at Hawaii.
And then as soon as Noah showed up, we decided we wanted to get him right out to see his first ever shark in real life, and to test our first potential myth, which has to do with sharks attacking people with GoPros.
Except an island. Oh yeah, it is Hawaii. Look at it.
Yeah, Hawaii. But when I was there, Hawaii literally looks like LA. Like actually.
Why was it very crowded?
Yeah, it was crowded and the buildings are big like LA.
No way!
Yeah, that's just like LA, dude.
Look down here. Look at this. No, there's no way. Are we going in with that? We're going in with those. Oh my god.
Wait, when you went to Hawaii?
It looks like LA.
And so while Noah reconsidered his life choices,
there.
we came up with a game plan.
Like
Right, Luke. Last time we were out here, we had these like 360 cams on a stick, and the sharks swim for it. Like a number of times they would bite at it, right? And I've actually heard that sometimes you go on a dive, like in Hawaii, they'll actually tell you cannot bring a GoPro because they say the sharks are attracted to like the electromagnetic waves. And it feels like, is that true?
I think there's something to it.
According to Luke, he's definitely seen sharks snap at GoPros on a selfie stick. But it was unclear if that's just because you're shoving this stick way out in front of their face, or if it was actually some kind of electromagnetic wave from the GoPro that got them excited. And that's sort of an important distinction if you own a GoPro.
We proved that they love the electric fields. Maybe don't attach one to your head.
So we came up with an experiment to test this. We would dive down and Luke would be holding a selfie stick with the GoPro actively filming inside.
Get it? Because cameras are in pixels.
Selfie stick with an identical GoPro housing, but it would
Yes,
be empty. So the only
rest in
difference between the two
pixels.
would be the tiny electrical field coming from the filming GoPro. And then at that point, we just count how many times each of our selfie sticks got bumped or attacked. And while I was obviously a little skeptical, there is some validity
Their
to the
feet is
theory.
lizard.
Part of the reason sharks have existed as apex predators for 450 million years is because they detect and hunt their dinner not only with the same 5 senses.
Did you know that?
But with
Did you know that if people were like very dumb at their 5, they would think sharks were lizards.
At all times. And then their 7th is their ability to detect electric fields.
If they were 5 and very dumb,
this matters because when any muscle contracts, it gives off an electrical signal. That's
Oh my
how the brain
gosh.
controls them.
Oh my
So
gosh.
sharks can sense a fish using its muscles to try and swim away.
Strong man.
It's a completely stationary
shark
fish
has
simply
seven
because of its beating heart.
senses?
And so with the testing plan in place,
we have 7 senses, Andrew.
Ocean
No,
school dive
sharks
experience
do,
with a
though.
warm welcome from
Sharks
25
do.
swimming
Oh, we have
sharks.
6, right? We have 6 only.
No, we have 5. We have 5 million.
What do you mean we have 5? I thought we had 6.
So, taste, smell, touch.
So we set up camp on the bottom
Smell.
and started the experiment.
And taste, smell.
And it seemed at first they were kind of
touch,
scoping us out for
feel.
a bit. After which, they got a little bit more confident.
We have 5 more.
Okay, we got 1 hit on the camera.
And then C.
Hit on the camera.
So that's 6. Because you can see stuff. Isn't that a sense?
So after
Yeah.
about
No.
10 minutes, while there were a few
Yeah,
close
see?
calls,
I told you.
Oh gosh, Rama with me.
So
and certainly
6.
some interest in
No,
our selfie
it's
sticks,
touch,
there were definitely no
taste,
attacks
smell,
yet, so we headed back up to tally and
touch.
compare our
No,
results.
touch.
Yeah, that's the scariest
smell,
part, right?
Taste,
They swim, like,
taste,
right in your
smell.
face.
Yeah,
See?
like they're coming like this. I don't know
Yeah,
if I
and
should
then the
move
last
or something.
moment,
That's
they're like trying to
fine,
see how
that's
scared
fine.
we are.
They swim right past me and they're like, eyeing me.
See,
And I'm like,
see,
look away.
touch, smell,
Look them in the eye.
When we looked at
taste.
the footage, Luke's running GoPro
feel.
got bumped 5 times,
Yeah,
while my
6.
empty camera case was only bumped once, which was
See, look,
interesting,
I
but I
counted.
wouldn't exactly call it a
touch,
clear-cut result to the
feel,
rumor that sharks will
feel.
attack GoPros because
No,
they
touch-
mistake the electric
touch
fields
and
for
feel
prey.
are
But
the
like
same
for us,
thing.
I had a backup
So it doesn't
plan to
count.
get more conclusive evidence.
I think to
Touch
really
and
level
feel.
it up.
They're
I've
the
got-
Oh,
same.
so it is 5.
Show you
Yeah,
guys.
5.
Da-da-da.
Oh my god, dude, they have a whole stick of
How many
GoPro.
Oh my
GoPros?
gosh.
I'm
Like
glad
a GoPro.
21. Okay, so we're
It's a
Oh my
curved stick,
God.
We've
actually.
got a bunch of GoPros. So if they're interested in one,
I
we'll take it to
only
the
have
extreme.
one
They
in my
really
house.
go
I
crazy
can
for this,
probably
right?
never
like this
afford
one, but they
another
don't like
one.
this.
Exactly.
But the second
Wait, you
purpose
have
for
a
this rig
GoPro in your
is
house?
because the 21
Yeah.
cameras are equally spaced apart.
I wanna
this
use
is a
it.
waterproof version of that fancy bullet time rig made famous by The Matrix. Now, 2 years ago, I came up with a poor man's version of this by sticking a 360 camera to the end of a harpoon, and that worked pretty well, as you could see here. But we tested this new and improved rig at the pool that morning, and I was even more hopeful for this version because we were able to get some super dope shots like this one. Now, Caribbean reef sharks are pack hunters, and this is
What
why
is
some
that?
argue they're the most
What
dangerous
is
sharks
that?
in the Bermuda
What is
Triangle
that?
because they get each other worked up in a frenzy. And so my hope
Oh,
was the
or
sharks would, in
fish, I
fact,
mean.
get really worked up by all the GoPros to the point that it was a frenzy. Because I'm pretty sure that's just something Noah would want to experience underwater, you know, up close and personal. So now
It's
that
a
his mind was
fish.
mentally prepared for what might lie ahead, it was time to get back in the water for the follow-up test.
I gotta pee, and luckily 2 years ago we proved that sharks aren't attracted to urine, so I'll be fixing that situation in about 5 minutes when we're in the water.
Be in the water then.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rig.
The Ring.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, The Ring, the
And so while we
movie?
conducted
Ring the
our
movie?
super-sized follow-up
Lord
experiment,
of the
we took the
Rings, the
opportunity
movie.
to capture
Lord
some
of the
bullet time
Rings,
shots
the
as well.
movie.
Look at this,
In the end,
is so
they just
cool.
weren't that interested in a rig with 21 running GoPros, so it was pretty clear that the myth that sharks will attack a GoPro thinking it's food was busted. Now, to be fair, they could almost certainly sense that electrical field, which is why they would sometimes bump it out of curiosity. It's just that it would be such a different electromagnetic signature from what they'd evolved for hundreds of millions of years to consider food. So you're totally cool to whip out your GoPro next time you find yourself surrounded by sharks. And so while we did have some cool bullet time shots and a busted myth, what we didn't
Wait,
have was
pause
no
the video,
escape
wait.
to a feeding frenzy.
Let me
But
check.
luckily, I had another backup plan.
Oh, it's
Because
only 8 minutes. Never mind.
before we got in, I introduced him to my secret recipe from last year, the Super Chum Smoothie. And while it might make us humans gag, sharks love this stuff. So the plan was to have the boat crew fill this canister with the Super Chum and then drop it overboard, hopefully creating a real-life Sharknado on the way down.
We got the Sharknado. Here we go. Coming in hot. Oh, God, they're converging. They're definitely agitated. They're moving around to try to figure out what's in the box. Oh, they're really going for it now.
Oh, the Sharknado! The Sharknado!
One of the shots just hit the right. No way.
Oh, dude, they're hitting the GoPro.
Dude, they like what we've done. Why does it feel like there's like double the amount of sharks though? That guys are getting pretty gnarly. On your back. Oh, I love it. Yeah, this is too crazy. I think we better hit the boat. Time to head up. Okay.
So with Feeding Frenzy crossed off the bucket list, and even another dive later where Andy captured this footage of a super rare great hammerhead, Noah innocently inquired about a creepy looking lighthouse near our dive spot.
Oh god. You know what's the deal with the lighthouse?
It was brought here in 1952, and that's when they actually had the first accident. There was a ship that wrecked here, and everyone died except for one kid. It was 5 years. Let's get to it.
And while this was possibly a really bad idea, it would be a good chance to gather some first-hand evidence behind all the Bermuda Triangle.
Almost right.
Oh, that was the gray lady.
And so we started exploring, and just the whole vibe for this place was legitimately creepy. Now, I'm not going to show you everything that happened on Ghost Island. To see that, you got to get Discovery Plus, because it has all the Shark Week show this year and from past years, like my show with Shaq and Dude Perfect. Not to mention my upcoming Engineering Revenge show based off the glitter bombs. So to get it, just download Discovery Plus for free for 7 days, and after that, it's just like $5 a month. So this excursion was a useful data point for me as to whether or not the Bermuda Triangle itself was cursed.
Oh dude, this is just something the gray lady would wear too.
But I still wasn't ready to form a conclusive viewpoint until I could do a bit more research myself. And so after encountering the largest turtle I've ever seen by a factor of 4, we hopped back on the boat to return home. It was a long day and we needed to get some rest because the next day we were going to hop on some real fancy snow globe submarines and descend way down to try and lure some sharks out deep on their own turf. And to do that, I had a few more tricks up my sleeve. And the first trick was this stuff. Now it doesn't look all that impressive like this, but when you simply add it to water, something remarkable happens. It's called biolume, and it's the exact same chemical reaction that occurs in nature when an organism uses bioluminescence.
I thought it was
Totally
chicken
non-toxic and natural to the point that you can drink this water. I mean, how cool is this? When we're deep underwater, I want to see how well the sharks can see this stuff, because it's commonly said that sharks have really bad eyesight, but I've heard that too is a myth. Now each one of their senses has a different range. Their electroreceptors we demonstrated earlier are effective to hunt prey in about this range. And in previous years, I've investigated the range on their sense of smell for something like blood in the right conditions, and it can be as much as a mile. But allegedly, they rely quite a bit on their sense of sight for hunting too, and they can see as far as a football field in length. And while they can't see in colors and can only see in black and white, their night vision is 10 times better than us humans, which is why we wanted to test their eyes with this glowing stuff in darker conditions. And my second trick was good old reliable Super Chum, but with a catch, because you can't exactly just open the hatch and pour some out when you're 600 feet underwater. Plus, there are some pretty strict safety protocols about what you can attach to the outside of the sub due to the crushing pressures at that depth. So we handcrafted this beauty. An environmentally friendly Super Chum torpedo we could fire from the sub. Everything is made from wood, and this middle section is balsa wood, so it would easily break away if a shark chomped right here, because that's where the Super Chum is contained in a bag that biodegrades in the water. And as you can see from our last minute pool testing, the idea was for the sub's mechanical arm to pull this lever, which would allow the surgical tubing to contract, forcing the torpedo out, opening the bag of Super Chum in the process, but intentionally only traveling a short distance where we could still see it close to the sub. So with our final test looking pretty good, it was time to head back out to sea for both of our first ever dives in a bona fide submarine.
Oh my god. Which one's mine?
I think you're this one, old yeller.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's like a mech. What?
It is a mech.
It's a mech from season 10 of Fortnite.
And it's not Flamingo. Flamingo Explorer.
Flamingo Explorer.
This is Nomad reporting of patches.
Wow.
I am ready to dive.
Wait, pause it. Don't listen to me. Wait, pause it. I think we'll end it here. I think we'll end it here.
Wait, no. Like, after like 14 minutes.
Oh, it's not 14 minutes. I think we're gonna end it here.
Okay, this is half of the video now.
Okay. Bye. We can make part 2. I guess.
Bye.
Bye. Oh my god.